Today on Ag Etc. I visit with Hedi Anderson, owner of Legacy Livestock Photography. We got into how COVID has affected her business, with many shows being canceled this year, as well as how her business came to be and sharing her craft by having internship opportunities with her business. Then I visit with Grand Champion Market Steer winner Abby and Julie Bell at the American Royal in Kansas City. Then I visit with this week's Young Leader in Ag. Finally, I speak with Christian Calliham, creator of a new livestock show called the Aggieville Showdown. We discuss how this new livestock show will take place in spring of 2021 and how the grand drive will actually be in Aggieville. It's all coming up on Ag Etc. Stay tuned.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
Welcome to the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in my hometown of Oakley, Kansas. We're the front door of Western Kansas, located on three main highways, I-70, US 83, and US 40. And all those roads lead to history, beautiful scenery, and adventure, no matter which direction you go. We now have an IHOP. That brand that you've trusted up and down the road in all your travels is staffed with local folks, real people, just like you and me, and we're waiting on you to join us. So for fun, adventure, fuel up, fuel your body, and let's have some fun.
This segment brought to you by Sure Crop. Liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
Welcome back, and we are with Hedi, owner of Legacy Livestock. Hedi, go into a bit about how Legacy began.
So Legacy began as a passion project between my husband and I. I didn't grow up in the livestock industry, but I married a farmer. So I was a professional photographer before that, and it was just, I guess, a match made in heaven as far as that goes. We started Legacy shortly after we got married, and it's been an absolute adventure since then.
Yeah, and what are some major shows that you guys cover?
We cover the American Royal, obviously. Oklahoma Youth Expo is another big one that we cover. We also do, dozens of state fairs, regional shows. We do a lot of the swine shows for certified pedigree swine on the national level, and we just love having any chance we can have to tell the story of kids in agriculture.
Well, you guys certainly have built a brand for yourself. I remember growing up and having Legacy at my shows. Hedi, go into a bit. I know you work a lot with internships.
Yes.
So go into a bit about how people can reach out to you in that process.
Absolutely. I was really blessed when I first started in the photography industry to have a couple of mentors that meant the absolute world to me. And I wouldn't be the photographer I am today without those. So we got to a point where we felt like it was our responsibility to be able to pass that on to a younger generation. So what we do is we have 5 different internship times during the year. Those post on Facebook, as well as on our website for the applications and so forth. And we will run those several times a year for different seasons, for different shows. The summer one is honestly, if I had to pick a favorite, because we run that one as a 5-week-long internship, and we go to 3 to 4 junior nationals. We also go to several large hog shows and a lot of farms and ranches. So there's a lot of opportunity, whether you want to be a professional livestock photographer growing up, or if you want to learn social media and photography for, agricultural communication jobs that you're using in the future.
Right. And I know quite a few people that's interned with you. Go into a bit about how your internship is structured, because I know it's a little different than most.
So the way our internships are structured is they are unpaid internships. That being said, once you get here, you kind of get a little spoiled.
Right.
But it is expense free after that.
Right.
So, we cover all the hotels, we cover all of the food, we cover all of the fun stuff that we get a chance to go do. When we realized that there were a lot of internships out there where you had to have your own apartment and your own hotel rooms, then some of these kids were coming in upside down after their internship was over, and they were spending more money than what they were making at their internship. And so for us, we wanted to make it as stress-free as we could. But then you come out of that with learning, you know, a lot of social media, a lot of photography, obviously, but also a lot of editing, a lot of Photoshop, Lightroom, and the opportunity to meet people you maybe don't meet while you're walking through a show ring.
Yeah, absolutely. Really a summer of just building your portfolio.
Absolutely.
Heidi, I also want to get into COVID.
Yes.
How has that affected you guys?
We, knock wood, have been so blessed. It really, it hasn't affected us in a negative way at all. We had one show that canceled, but it ended up being okay.
Yeah.
But after that, we picked up several other shows, and what the bonus side of that, not that you have to look for silver linings and everything.
Right.
But people really, really reevaluated their presence online and their presence on their Facebook pages and their presence on their websites and so forth. And so needing the images and the video to tell their story became more important. And so we've had the opportunity to be able to work with a lot of different families and a lot of different ranches in helping them with that.
And on that note, I definitely want to plug you guys and send producers to your website. Absolutely. Where can people reach you guys at? www.legacylivestockimaging.com. We also have a Facebook page and Instagram page. Those are always a lot of fun to cover, to follow, because we have all sorts of different stuff on them. We have a lot of the show stuff, but then we have a lot of different farms and ranches. Yep.
So
absolutely. Well, Heidi, thank you so much for being on our program, and go check out Legacy Livestock.
Okay, looks like it's time for our tour. Welcome to the Fort Wallace Museum. Here at the museum, you're going to find some really interesting stuff, like our replica stagecoach from the Butterfield Overland Dispatch. We've got facades from the fort buildings. We've got an 1870s flag. There's a plesiosaur that was discovered locally. We've got the Ray pump organ collection. We're a little bitty place with a great big story, and we'd love to have you.
I'm Bob Swartz, and I've devoted the last 43 years to helping Kansans reach their retirement goals and to protect the family farm. At Bob Swartz Financial, we believe everyone should be able to live the retirement they've always dreamed of. Our team of professionals can help you create an efficient strategy using a variety of investment vehicles to help you address your financial needs and your concerns. Bob Swartz Financial values commitment and transparency.
Does your health plan lack dental and vision coverage? With Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans, you can get a dental and vision bundle for yourself or your family at an affordable price, giving you the ability to maximize your benefits and lower your costs. Plus, you'll get a solid network of providers in one convenient package. Learn more at kfbhealthplans.com or contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you.
Highways 40, 83, and I-70 come together right here in Oakley. Roads that lead to businesses, to magnificent rock formations, to scenic vistas, to places where legends were made. Roads that lead us home. Discover Oakley, the gateway to western Kansas.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
I'm at the American Royal in Kansas City, and I have with me now the grand champion market steer winner, Abby. Congratulations, Abby.
Thank you so much.
Abby, give us a little bit of background on this steer.
With this steer, the breaking process is kind of rocky at the first, and he was a little bit harder to break than the other ones, but we got it done, and he just showed like a champ out there today.
And Mom, how does it feel to win the American Royal?
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's Abby's senior year, so we are super excited, not only to win, but that it's her senior year. It makes it extra special.
Yeah, to really bookmark it and have a good end. So obviously, since COVID hit, the whole showing season has been transformed. How has that impacted you guys?
Well, it kind of sucks kind of having to wear a mask in the show ring. We didn't have to at this show. We did show them at Tulsa and we had to wear a mask there. But we've just been trucking through and doing whatever we can through it. It's not ideal, but we're going through it. We're making it.
And Mom, you kind of had an untraditional route. You were speaking with me earlier. Go into that for our viewers.
Right, we showed Chester at Tulsa State Fair. But Tulsa was different this year. It wasn't a terminal show. So Abby won Champion Cross and Reserve Champion Cross. Typically that would be a terminal for the premium sale. This year it wasn't, so we were able to bring the steer here, and we are very thankful for that opportunity. They say everything happens for a reason, and we certainly believe that's true. So.
Absolutely. Well, once again, a big thank you to Abby, and congratulations to you for winning the American Royal here in Kansas City.
When I come back, I visit with this week's Young Leader in Ag. You don't want to miss it.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but yet we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we'll be glad to answer it and work with you.
ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need. From prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by Farm Credit Associations of Kansas, lending support to rural America, and by American Ag Service, your DuPont Pioneer dealer.
Welcome back to Ag AM in Kansas. I'm Britton Rucker, and for our next Young Leader in Ag, I have with me now Christian Calliham. Welcome, Christian.
Thank you for having me.
So go into a bit about your ag background.
Yeah, so my ag background, I was born right into it. I grew up on a farm in northwest Kansas where we grow sorghum, wheat, soybeans, corn. It really kind of started my background with that. And then me and my sister actually got into livestock and horses a little bit through 4-H and FFA, and really just stayed involved, being an officer for both chapters, eventually being president for both of our local 4-H and FFA chapter, and then from there, I guess the rest is just kind of history after that.
And then your natural next step is K-State.
Yes, K-State. I think every kid, that grows up in ag in Kansas a lot, after being involved in 4-H, you just kind of bleed purple. So you kind of get that feeling, and it was a place that I came here toward, fell in love with it like many people do, and so glad I came here. It's definitely a family atmosphere.
And you recently graduated from K-State. What was it like graduating during a pandemic?
It is definitely interesting. I think lots of us are ready to put 2020 in the past. But with all that being said, I mean, there were some things that were really great about it. Even though classes transitioned online, I had the opportunity to go back to the farm, spend some more time with my family. But it was definitely a struggle. But if anything, tried to look at everything as a learning experience and try to grow from it. But it's definitely nice that hopefully we can get this settled soon and start interacting with people a little bit more. So
I definitely want to plug your internships that you had during college, because I think you had some pretty cool experiences.
Yeah, no, I had a couple cool internships. I got really involved in the stock show industry. I worked for 3 out of the 4 national livestock shows, from National Western in Denver, American Royal in Kansas City, and then Northern American International Livestock Exposition in Louisville. And those were a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of great people from across the country and really learn about how to run a show management and really educate the public about agriculture. Another one I'm really passionate about is Kansas Department of Agriculture. There is some wonderful people there that had the opportunity to kind of promote Kansas businesses that are 100% made in Kansas from the land of Kansas. And that was a true treasure. And another cool one I did was RFD TV's The American. So that one was really fun to get involved in the rodeo industry and also learn more about event planning and broadcasting. And they definitely shaped kind of the job course I went after that.
Yeah, and go into a bit about that, where you are now.
So it's definitely a little different. I never thought. I lived in Kansas City now, being a Western Kansas farm boy. It's definitely way different than I thought it was going to be. But yes, I live in Kansas City, and I work for a marketing agency known as VML YNR. And there, we recently have picked up a lot of ag clients, and we keep going. So I work, technical title is Connections Manager. So as you can imagine, that ties into a bunch of things. But the main thing I focus in is public relations and media relations too. So I get the chance to, with our ag clients, really work with the media across the country to talk to farmers and people in the agriculture industry to let them know what's new out there and how we can help keep growing the industry.
Awesome. Well, Christian, thanks for being our young leader in ag.
Thank you for having me. I sure appreciate it.
I'm Britton Rucker, and this has been Ag AM in Kansas. When we return, learn about a new livestock show coming to Manhattan, Kansas that will actually take place in Aggieville, here on Ag AM in Kansas.
At Farm Credit, we partner with America's farmers who work hard each and every day to grow the food that we all enjoy. It's not an easy task, but it's an important one. Farm Credit is proud to work with farmers and ranchers, lending support in rural America.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Okay, looks like it's time for our tour. Welcome to the Fort Wallace Museum. Here at the museum, you're going to find some really interesting stuff, like our replica stagecoach from the Butterfield Overland Dispatch. We've got facades from the fort buildings. We've got an 1870s flag. There's a plesiosaur that was discovered locally. We've got the Ray pump organ collection. We're a little bitty place with a great big story, and we'd love to have you.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Welcome back to Ag AM in Kansas, and a new livestock show is coming to light in Manhattan, Kansas, and I am with the man who created it, Christian Calliham. Welcome, Christian.
Thank you for having me. We're excited to get a chance to talk about this new show coming up.
Christian, go into a bit about how you came up with this show, how this show really came to light.
Yes, so to start off, it's the Aggieville Showdown, and we are planning for it to take place April 16th through the 18th, and the main event being on the 17th, that Saturday. But really how it got created is while I was here at K-State, some of us fellow students that have been in several classes together, we were hanging out one night this summer when we all had internships in Manhattan, and it actually was founded, believe it or not, right here in Aggieville at Mojo's Beach Bar. We were having discussions. We all used to show livestock, and we thought, hey, wouldn't it be so cool if there could be a grand drive in the center of Aggieville to really bridge that gap between rural and urban? So it really is a way for us to tell the story about ag, but also really celebrate all the great things that ag does in the industry and have a great night afterwards.
And even though it is called the Aggieville Showdown, not all the shows take place in the Ville.
Exactly, yes. So the fun's going to start out at the Riley County Fairgrounds. And so exhibitors can start moving in on April 16th at 3 p.m. We have a pre-check-in, and we'll be there till 8 p.m. to make sure we can get everyone we can. And then from there, the show's actually going to start April 17th that morning at 9 a.m. We're going to start with showmanship that highlights these showmen who really show off their skills of being the best showman and really presenting the animal the best. And then from there we go into the market and breeding classes. The market is for classes that we're looking for the best animal to use for market, so eventually get to the point that it gets into the grocery store. Right. But then we also have the breeding heifers, the prospect breeding heifers, and from that we are just looking for good females that are going to reproduce and keep bringing good progeny. So. Yeah.
And what all species are competing in this show?
Yes, so we are starting out this year. We're going to start out with just cattle. We do have plans to hopefully expand in the future, but yeah, we're going to stick with cattle right now, and we're really excited to open this up to the whole nation. So we really hope we're going to have a diverse group of cattle coming clear across the nation.
And how would people sign up to compete in the show?
So if they want to sign up, the best place to get all the information you need to know about the show is AggievilleShowdown.com. If you go on there, we actually have a tab under Cattle Show. If you go there, there's a button you can hit that hits entry, and there's a portal to get into our entry system. We're proud to use Show Ring Master as our entry system. I have a long-standing relationship with that gal, and we're really excited to have the opportunity and really be able to incorporate the whole nation in on this.
When we come back, learn how you can get involved in the Aggieville Showdown right after these short breaks.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Are you looking for Medicare supplement insurance plans? Now is a good time to look at your options with Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans. A Medicare supplement insurance plan can help cover certain out-of-pocket expenses Medicare doesn't cover. Things like deductibles, co-insurance, and certain limitations that can be costly in the event of an accident or illness. With Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans, you have options to Medicare supplement insurance plans with 4 levels of affordable coverage and service from an organization known for its commitment serving Kansans. We encourage you to compare our rates. For more information and to get a quote, contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you or visit kfbhealthplans.com. Medicare supplements insured by Members Health Insurance Company, Columbia, Tennessee. Not connected with or endorsed by the U.S. or state government.
ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need. From prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Let us help feed your family.
Welcome back to Ag AM in Kansas. I am back with Christian Calliham, who is bringing a new livestock show to light here in Manhattan, Kansas. Christian, how can people at home help you put this show on and make it possible?
Well, the biggest thing is we want to have big reach. We really want people from agriculture to get involved and people who aren't in agriculture. I mean, the whole point of an event like this is to get the community involved and really help these businesses thrive through it too. So to get involved with the Aggieville Showdown, we have several opportunities. We have several vendor spots. That's actually going to happen. You can be a vendor at the Riley County Fairgrounds during the show, or actually during our Grand Drive event that is going to be in the streets of Aggieville. Yeah. We actually have an opportunity for vendors to set up in the streets during our big event and get a lot of exposure through that. And then of course we offer lots of advertising and marketing services. So even if you want to be part of the event, be tied to something great like this, we are more than happy to get these businesses involved and get your name out there because, like I said, it's a show that people are going to come across the nation. And as we all know, Manhattan's a very special community. There's so many people that always have a special place in their heart for Manhattan. So we really want to show these people from across the nation that what we're about and how special our businesses and people in this community are.
And like you touched on just now, but the Grand Drive will actually take place in the Ville in Manhattan. Go into a bit about that and even the process getting that approved through the city.
Yes. So it is, that's what sets us apart, is when we started the show, we don't want to be like any other livestock show in the country. We truly want to set ourselves apart. So when we came up with this cattle show, the main idea was, well, it's Aggieville, this business district that really supports the town, and we want to get Aggieville involved in this. And it's also a place that people come for a lot of entertainment to have fun. So what's actually going to happen is our judges, who is Ashley Judge and Jake Wagner. They're from Loveland, Colorado. Jake's a K-State grad. Ashley is from Oklahoma State University. Is a grad there and had tons of experience in the livestock industry. But we're really excited to have them. So while we're at the Riley County Fairgrounds earlier that day, they are going to select the top 6 out of the market division and the breeding heifer division, and then we are going to bring those into a grand drive in Aggieville. Now, a lot of times people are probably thinking, it's like an old cattle drive. No, so exhibitors are going to be showing them. So we are going to set up an arena right in the streets of Aggieville, and we're going to have these exhibitors bring their cattle down to Aggieville, and essentially we are actually going to have them go in there and show and compete for over $5,000 in cash prizes. So.
And once again, when are the dates and when would you like people to register by?
Yes, so right now what we are planning on is April 16th through April 18th. The main event happening April 17th though, that Saturday. That's when the show and the grand drive is going to be. We really want people, if you're a business or a vendor, you want to get involved, we really want to hear soon from you so we can truly advertise your business to the fullest, but we want to hear by March 1st is our plan on that. And then if you're an exhibitor, you can sign up late entries the day of, but we really want you to go ahead and sign up before April 10th, and the show takes place on April 17th. So get those entries in early and be checking our Facebook page, because if you get your entries in early, we may give you a little gift if you do that for us. But yeah, no, from there, what's really unique, because like we said, this grand drive to get people involved, a few of the talents, it's not just going to be selecting our champions. Yep. We're going to do a lot. There's going to be vendors in the Ville. We're actually going to have a live performance from Lucas Matty, a recording artist that's local here. One of his hits being actually named Aggieville. And then from there, we're going to have a cowboy poet, just some other entertainment. I think something that's going to be really exciting is we're actually going to do a Western fashion show right in the streets of Aggieville before the grand drive to really let businesses have the opportunity to show off their new collections and, get everyone just involved in ag. So
yeah, so the Aggieville Showdown really has something for everybody.
Exactly, that's the big point. We really work hard to get all ages involved. That's the biggest thing, but we really just want you to come out, celebrate agriculture with us, and hey, you'll probably learn something while you're here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Christian, thank you so much for being on our program. Make sure you check out the Aggieville Showdown on their Facebook page and get those registrations in, because you could be watching the grand drive from the rooftop of Gordo's like we're on today. So Christian, once again, thank you so much for being on our program, and congrats on putting on this show.
Thank you for having me. We look forward to seeing you all soon.
Thanks for watching Ag Etc. As always, I'm Britton Rucker, and I'll see you here next week here on Ag AM in Kansas.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.